One. Ladies and gentlemen, please can I ask you to take your seats for this evening's speeches. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage President of the International Cotton Association, Tim North.
Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me in a toast to the health and the longevity of the International Cotton Association. The toast. The toast.
The toast to the International Cotton Association.
And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in paying respect to those colleagues that we have sadly lost since the last time we were together in 2022.
The toast to colleagues lost.
Well, I think everybody can sit down because I'm not going to give away how long this speech is going to be, but it's going to be more than a minute. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again on behalf of the ICA, I welcome you all to Singapore. Post-COVID, it is certainly a pleasure to return together as a conference, especially here in Singapore, where the dreaded COVID prevented us from meeting in this very locale. As many of you will know, I was unable to address this gathering in person last year. I had to speak to you only remotely because my wife, Cassie, was giving birth to our daughter, Zaza. Well, I can now confirm that Cassie did her bit. Zaza was born. She is in fact here today in this very hotel, a real jet-set baby. How apropos for a cotton girl. Miss Zaza, my new little boss, she's commandeered my computer. I haven't seen it all week, so she can watch Mickey Mouse. I pledged during my recorded speech that I intended to leave this position having put forth steps to leave our trading environment safer than I found it. This I will address and speak to what has been done and achieved this year. Indeed, this has been quite a year. Much has been accomplished. Let me pull my pages apart here. Much has been accomplished. So firstly, to business, and in this post-COVID era, the business of travel. As the International Cotton Association, it is important that we get out to international markets. We spread the good word. This year has seen a good deal of travel by the ICA. The ICA attended the China conference, went to Bangladesh, Vietnam, and presented workshops in India. Most recently, the ICA went to Poland to attend their association event. We already have 4 more trips scheduled for next year to India, Turkey, Vietnam, and to China. I attended Bremen, AFCOT, and the Mediterranean Convention, as well as representing the ICA at both the American Cotton Shippers Association Midwinter Board Meeting and the AXO Annual Convention. In July, Bill and I traveled together to Brazil to attend ANEA and to visit Mato Grosso and Bahia. So next, to the membership. Our membership has seen significantly more members join than in previous years, which is a real positive. I believe this marks a record in 1 year of sign-ups. Our membership today now stands at 650. I set up a committee to review our membership structure. It was high time to do so. Membership fees have not been increased since 2010. The Membership Review Committee, chaired by Emma McDonough, has made several important recommendations. Aside from reassessing membership's dues, it has been well overdue for changes to be made in fee assessment, to make our fees more equitable among various groups, and to allow for other categories of membership as our business evolves in a changing textile world. Our Membership Review Committee will now continue henceforth as a standing committee. This should be monitored with greater consistency. Whilst on the subject of ICA committees, extensive time is freely given by a number of our members. The makeup of our committees continues to evolve and to broaden so that they include representatives from all corners of our trade, from growers to merchants to controllers to mills. It is my hope that someday they will include sectors beyond the mill and through even perhaps to retailers. This is as it should be, and I encourage those who are keen to criticize what the ICA does or does not do by being willing to freely give of their time to make this association truly international, truly representative of the trade en masse. To paraphrase John F. Kennedy, it is therefore, in my view, within this context, fair and appropriate to say, ask not what your association can do for you, ask what you can do for your association. Stop complaining, get involved, give freely of your time. In this brave new and rapidly evolving world of sustainability, of traceability and transparency, the whole chain is becoming more translucent. There have been and there continue to exist what can be described as walls between the various segments of our industry. We tend to operate in silos. As such, and in my view, it was, and it is vital to remove these walls and to bring both brands and retailers and those involved in the yarn business and forward into our domain. The consequences of their actions and what they do beyond the mill gate can have a direct and indirect bearing on what we do. We certainly saw that in the immediate aftermath of COVID. At that moment, it became very apparent to me that our business, until the mill gate, needed expanding to increase contract compliance. Therefore, it was a determined goal of mine to contact key brands and retailers and to begin a discourse to investigate how the ICA can somehow play a role in not only assisting their business, but also to help with broader compliance. And so, for the first time, and under my leadership, the ICA formed a brand and retail committee that included several prominent brands and retailers, both from the EU and from the United States. We met a number of times. Our discussions were both engaging and they were productive. This is an ongoing, developing and evolving process. I must tell you now that this work is far from done, but at least the journey has begun. The brands and retailers were intrigued to learn not only of the existence of the ICA, didn't even know we existed, but also the important role that the ICA plays in contract dispute resolution. They were very interested in our arbitration system and particularly the default list. Knowing who has not complied has, and now should help them to avoid companies who appear on this list. At the same time, the brands also suggested that the ICA could and perhaps should play a role in helping to identify those many end users who employ integrity, consistency, and reliability in their dealings. However, the road goes both ways. These discussions should, in my view, continue. Due to social media, reputations can be made and lost very quickly in the broad public domain. Certainly the brands and retailers are acutely aware and increasingly aware of this fact. For who can argue that a broken chain is a non-sustainable chain? A key recommendation that came out of our discussions in the Brand and Retail Committee is that we should make their world more aware of our world, who we are, what role we play. Attending conferences like the Textile Exchange and other gatherings to promote our business of contract sanctity is, in my view, a vital way forward. We must do this. We do not need to go to the moon, but we do need to bring these sectors beyond the mill gate into our orbit. Our cotton world is entering a different age. It is essential that the ICA both adapts and caters to these changes. We must move forward. We cannot sit still and rest on our laurels. For these reasons, I am convinced that we can, and indeed we should, play a more prominent role beyond the mill gate, to find ways to engage more ultimately with brands and retailers. And so I ask you this, to imagine a world in which brands and retailers actively seek to eliminate from their supply chain those who do not comply. Furthermore, imagine a world in which brands and retailers require all their suppliers to be members of good standing and thus also to be members of our association, the ICA. As William Shakespeare said, perchance to dream. This would be a win-win, as it would both increase our good trading community and our membership, whilst also greatly improve the obligation of contract sanctity. Speaking of compliance, the ICA has been quite successful in recent years in both discouraging participants from getting on the default list and encouraging those on the list to negotiate their way off the default list. This has been notably achieved by signing so-called MOUs, or Modus of Understanding, between key organizations that are playing vital roles in developing the march forward in a sustainable world. Organizations such as BCI, Cotton Made in Africa, Trust Protocol, they're already signatories to this accord. Part of my goal to achieve a safer trading environment was to actively identify other organizations who are bubbling up to the top in this new age of a sustainable world and who will become key to those who want to and must develop their business in this brave new world. I am pleased to say that under my leadership, the Supima Association have confirmed that they will sign an MOU with the ICA this year. Another progressive and I believe influential arrangement this year is our engagement with Textile Genesis, a world leader in the vital role of blockchain traceability. They are working on an ingenious, but I believe highly consequential and significant means by which those who are on the default list will be red flagged in their system, so that all those engaged in the chain from the field to the retail shelf will be aware that they might just be dealing with a defaulter. They have now, I am pleased to say, just signed last week an MOU with the ICA. This will certainly help to bolster the need to comply with contract commitments going forward. It will become increasingly difficult to survive in this brave new and more transparent world unless and until a company keeps their dealings in good faith and with full contractual compliance. We are homing in on this, and I believe we are making important progress. There will be less and less places to hide if one does not comply. And so, set your stopwatches. As I move towards the conclusion, I look back on this year and within the context of what I stated I would strive to achieve. Some important first steps have been taken. New committees have been appointed. Aside from those mentioned, the board agreed that women in cotton should now be a standing committee henceforth. We have begun to engage beyond the mill gate and through to the retail and brand shelf. More MOUs have been signed with key organizations. This is an important step forward on compliance. Alas, and in my view, 1 year in office is not enough to complete this process. Perhaps, in the future, a 2-year presidential term might be considered. This I would recommend. Speaking of future presidents, I now turn to the present and to your next president. Since 1841, no woman has ever had the opportunity and the privilege to lead this association. You are witnessing an important moment in our history, for that is now about to change. It is my honor, indeed my deep satisfaction, to be the president who hands over this chain of office to Kim Hanna. On a personal note, I have known Kim for a large part of my career. Her work on promoting women in cotton has been nothing short of exemplary, truly impressive. I am absolutely positive, knowing Kim as I do, that the association is extremely fortunate to have someone who is so committed, who is tireless, who is creative, and who is also highly capable. And so I wish Kim all due success and the very best in her role as your president. So last but not least, and at the risk of making this sound somewhat like an Oscar moment, there are some important individuals and groups to whom I owe so much and who must now be recognized. I would be remiss in not mentioning both the Wheels and the Stearns and the Estaves as important factors in my career development. Integrity is synonymous with these storied families, and in our business, they have led and they continue to lead by example. I am a better person for having known these people. The ICA staff, under the direction of Bill Kingdon, have provided vital and professional backup whenever required. The ICA runs as a well-oiled machine. They all represent the association very well, and so, there they are down there, my sincere thanks to all of you for all that you do. I will also draw to a close by mentioning my wife, Cassie, with whom, quite honestly, I would not be standing in this capacity before you. It is an act of fate that she and I first met. It is often said that behind a successful man is a more successful and a more capable woman. My better half, never a truer word has been said, and especially in this case, Cass. So that now leaves me with the final task and the pleasure to thank you, the members, for the confidence and the trust that you have placed in me to lead the association this past year. What a journey, what an honor, what memories. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and welcome your incoming and first female president, Kim Hanna.
What a moment. Thank you, everyone. And Tim, I'm going to say, oh, I'm ahead of myself.
No, this is the moment. This is the moment. That's where history is made. So I think I leave the stage now, don't I? Yes.
It's always easy to try to get the hard part done first. So thank you very much. And Tim, I just want to say it has been wonderful to work alongside of you on the executive committee. And I really want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your mentorship, guidance, and friendship, not only for the last 2 years, but for the many, many years that we've known each other. I promise to carry forward, Tim, and build on the objectives that you've championed. And I'm happy to know that over the next year that you will continue to support us and inspire us throughout the upcoming year. Together, we can continue to build on the strong foundation that you have laid, embracing both the challenges and the opportunities that lay ahead. Thank you, Tim, for your remarkable contribution, and I am more than honored to be able to follow in your footsteps. So, I stand here today with an immense sense of honor and humility as I assume the role of the first female president in our industry's long history. I am deeply grateful to the members of the association for the trust that you've placed in me, and I recognize I have very big shoes to fill, following the footsteps of the past presidents whose commitment to creating a safer trading environment has been the cornerstone of our industry's success, and I am fully committed to carry on that legacy. You know, given the presentations we've seen over the last 2 days, it's evident that we have a lot of work ahead of us. Our industry faces numerous challenges, from the perils of climate change, currency liquidity, and the pending social and environmental legislation. But I feel that creating an inclusive environment where all sectors of the supply chain can come together to mitigate these and future challenges is not just a vision, it will be a necessity. So I'd like to encourage all of you to join the ICA if you're not our members, but moreover, to be engaged. Engagement from every region and every sector of an industry, because there's going to be no quick fix to what we have ahead, but by welcoming diverse voices from producers to retail, we'll be able to harness the collective wisdom of our complex supply chain, ensuring that no valuable insight is left untapped. This united front will not only enable us to confront the challenges head-on, but the association will be in a stronger, more resilient place to best protect the interests of all the stakeholders in the world of cotton. And after tonight, we're going to roll up our sleeves and get to work. But for tonight, the magnitude of this moment is not lost on me. And I must confess that it was really a short time ago that the idea as a woman that I could ever become ICA president was honestly something I could have never thought possible. But today, what was once impossible has become a reality. And I would like my presidency to send the message that the industry holds limitless possibilities for anyone wanting to succeed and making it to the top of their game. I may be the first woman, but as I look at the changing composition of our board, I know I will not be the last. Going forward, strong women in our industry, as well as our future generations of our daughters and granddaughters, will be able to dream of things that they can achieve by ambition and knowing that they too can lead with conviction. And with that, I am proud to dedicate my presidency to the many talented women in our industry who have contributed so significantly with their expertise, their passion, and their dedication. And it's time we celebrate these women, as well as their men and the support and their employers who support them. And with that, we have produced a video that I would like to, their tribute that I would like to share with you.
Stars. I wanna die in your arms. Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. And I don't care. Cause in
That was the first time I've seen the video too. So, in conclusion, I hope you'll join me in raising your glass. Really, I'd like to propose those to the heartfelt salute to the women in the cotton industry. May your voices be heard, may your achievements be recognized, and may your futures be unlimited. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. So great, it's such an honor. Thank you.